We're at our garage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out this week. We got ourselves a 2020 Honda Civic, and judging from the bright red paint and fancy wheels, I suspect it's a bit more than the basic Civic economy car. Base Honda Civic economy car starts around 20 grand, has a 2-liter engine putting out 180 horsepower, good fuel economy. This is a bit different because it has the SI badge. Pretty sharp design from the rear view as well. By the way, we also tested a 2020 Honda Civic Touring a couple of months ago. We'll have a link for that video at the end of this video. That's it right there. If you want a Japanese car with more guts, we also drove the 2020 Toyota Supra. Racked up 600 miles on it. That was last week. We'll have a video for that at the end of this video to click on. So you're getting 3 car tests for the price of 1. The heart of the SI is a tiny 1.5-liter engine, but it's turbocharged, cranking out 205 horsepower. Fuel economy is listed at 26 in the city, 36 on the highway, with 30 overall. We're going to rack up a lot of miles to see if that's true. I hear this is pretty quick. A lot of publications are getting 0 to 60 times with 6.3 seconds. Pretty quick for a little Honda Civic. As a rule, I'll tell people to order automatic transmissions with a performance car. They usually offer better performance and economy than a manual, but in a Honda Civic, the only automatic available is not a real automatic transmission, one of those cheesy CVTs. So you'll be happy to know the SI includes a good old-fashioned 6-speed manual with a clutch. Kind of hard to see here with the glare I'm getting in the afternoon sun. But there are the shift knob points for you. We get a sport mode button. It certainly livens up the steering a bit, I found out. The SI comes with other performance goodies like a limited slip differential, 4-wheel disc brakes, front McPherson strut suspension, rear multi-link suspension, an adaptive damper system. That was a long list to read. By the way, there are no options on this car. Everything is standard, including luxury items like the dual zone climate control, sport seats, heated seats, leather trim, blah blah blah. I could go down the list, but the video will be too long. One price, one car only. Let's just go down the list. You can read all the goodies here. More. Moonroof, huh? Didn't even notice that. Here's the total tab with shipping. That's a lot of car for the money. If you don't think so, there's something wrong with you. You've obviously noticed this is a 4-door sedan. Great if you want to haul around your wife and kids in a performance car, but it is also available in a 2-door sports coupe. For all you young players, single guys like me, your choice, 4-door or 2-door. So let's take a peek at the cabin, see what we have here. Plenty of room for full-size adults in the second row seating. Looks like we need to get the vacuum cleaner out. The SI gets its own brand of seats. They fit me quite well, but they're not very comfortable for long trips, I found. But that's my opinion, might fit you better. Under the door, we get the infamous rocker panels with a dirt shelf that collects dirt and can get on your pants. Fortunately, the rocker panels aren't that wide, so my pants have been staying reasonably clean. So I'm not going to complain about this too much. But if you live where there's lots of rain, mud, and snow, you might want to keep a rag handy to wipe this off. The glove box is large, lots of room in there to put your stuff. There's a giant storage console between the seats. The radio controls and info screen, easy to use, and we finally get a volume knob on Hondas this year. A big complaint from previous years. They're listening. A very well designed gauge cluster. You won't have a problem watching your RPMs on this tachometer. There's a stopwatch function. I don't know what that does yet. We get a turbo boost gauge if you choose. And if you're too lazy to watch the tachometer red line, you have these little bulbs, green, orange, and red, that tell you when to shift, but it only operates when the car is moving. One feature I was wanting to see on a manual shift car is a good old-fashioned manual parking brake. You know, the big old stick you yank up to put on and put down to put off, and instead we get this electronic parking brake. I don't like these things for reasons I won't get into, but the electric parking brake is what you get if you don't want this rolling downhill. This car has some electronic safety nannies, or so-called safety nannies I don't like. Fortunately, there are some buttons here that allow you to turn this garbage off, as I did. Let's pop the lid and take a look in the trunk. Lots of room in here, no doubt about that. That's the good news. The bad news, there's no spare tire, just a cheesy air pump system. If you got a cut sidewall, you're kind of screwed. This won't save you. And warning, you do not want to lose this funnel. Very important. That's because you have a capless fuel system. You run out of fuel and the AAA comes out and tries to fill this with a 5-gallon gas can. Won't work unless you have this adapter. You don't have the adapter, you can't put gas in, aside from the nozzles at the gas station. Don't lose this. If you're going on a lot of out-of-town trips, you're driving at night, do yourself a favor, get a spare tire and jack and toss in here, or have the dealer toss it in on the deal. Driving without a spare is not a good idea. That's enough show and tell. Let's take this out and do some driving. And yes, we are going to take these headlights out in the dark in a few minutes. But first, we're going to take some speed bumps, see how the suspension performs. As we do in all my videos, we're going to take some mild speed bumps around 20 miles per hour to evaluate the suspension performance and impact. Just like this guy is, only he's doing about 40. But hey, it's a truck. And a Toyota. They can take it. Here comes bump number 1. A bit of harshness, but still pretty smooth. The bigger tires are what's thumping. Number 2. Number 3. That was smooth enough. Here comes the nasty one. Felt that one. Just for the record, the speed bump test doesn't tell you everything about how a car drives on the street as far as comfort goes. Frankly, I've already put 100 miles on this car in the city and on the freeway, and it is pretty smooth overall. Just when you hit those big bumps, you get some thumping from these bigger tires, but no big deal. Overall, this is a smooth riding car, considering the small wheelbase. So it still passes my test. I didn't bring my stopwatch to record the 0 to 60 times. With one hand on the steering wheel and the other hand on the shifter, I couldn't use it anyway. But driving this, I'm pretty sure that the 0 to 60 in 6.3 seconds claimed by other publications is pretty accurate. This car is pretty quick. These are fancy looking headlights. Look expensive too. Let's take them out in the dark and see what they do. It's dark enough. Let's take these headlights out and see what they do. Here we have the low beams on a building 100 feet away. Very bright, good height. No complaints here. Go to high beam. Looks pretty bright. We've got the brights on a building 300 feet away. Good spread, good height. Lots of power. Thumbs up. Go to low beam. Very bright and just barely reaches out. So city driving, no problem. Backcountry roads, sure bet. Here's what the reverse camera looks like in the dark. A bit on the grainy side, but not too bad considering it's dark outside. When you turn your right turn signal on, there's a camera on the outside right mirror. Gives you a nice view. Obviously works better in the daylight, but not too bad in the dark either. We've racked up 189 miles on this vehicle in the past few days, most of it in city driving. Getting 29.0 mpg. Rather impressive considering the brisk rate we were going. Let's reset everything to 0 and take a highway trip. See if we can bump up these figures. We're going to set the cruise control at 69 miles per hour. For those interested. This vehicle is a quiet highway cruiser as far as wind noise goes, but these tires and wheels make a lot of rumbling noises, especially on rough pavement. Just something you have to get used to. We racked up 37 highway miles, doing 37 miles to the gallon. Sounds reasonable to me. I also noticed when you put the car in sport mode, the gauge cluster lights up in a nice bright red to remind you. Nice. Getting back to the headlights, they do a great job of lighting up these road signs that are half a mile down the road. That's high beam. That's low beam. Again, with the excellent headlights, these road signs are a mile away. That's high beam. Even the low beam show. I really like these headlights. I think you will too. That was a sloppy 0 to 60 time, but I'm afraid that's the only one you're going to get. I didn't get this car to drag race. Now we're going to get out on the open public roads and see how this baby takes corners, and thus far, I'm very impressed. I drive a lot of expensive European sports cars on this road, and this Honda.Civic is sticking in the corners. It's about as good as they do. That good old Honda engineering. And this engine is sweet. Smooth, quiet, lots of torque. I really don't have to use the 6-speed gears that much. You know, if this car only had 40 more horsepower, it could easily take on the BMW 3 Series. No problem at all. And cost a lot less in the process. This car really likes to be driven hard. Plus you have that Honda reliability, something you don't get on European cars. Again, this is why you need good headlights, so you don't go crashing through this gate and over the edge on the washed out road. Ah, gee, we're going to have to turn back. Well, looks like the gas station closed early because it's a holiday and I'm on my low fuel light. So we're going to have to limp into town at 37 miles per hour on 1 gallon of gas and see if we can make it. I wonder what type of fuel economy I'm going to get at this low speed. I guess we're going to find out. Well, we made it to the gas station. Let's take a peek and see what my mileage was. Wow, 82 miles to the gallon. That must be a record. Alright, we got some fuel. Let's make a return highway trip. We got 37 mpg coming slightly uphill. Let's see what we're getting going slightly downhill. Then average out the two and get our mpg for the freeway. We're back into town, so once we drive through this tunnel of love, we'll pull over and see what the fuel economy is. Alright, we got 37 mpg going there. We got 41 mpg coming back. That's an average of 39 mpg overall. No complaints from me. So what's my take on this Honda SI after a week of driving? If my memory serves me correct, it was either Motor Trend magazine or Car and Driver magazine that voted this one the 10 best cars of the year. Well, whoever did it, I agree 100%. This is a fantastic vehicle. I rate it 10 out of 10, especially 10 out of 10 on value. I really hate giving it back. For 27 grand, you can't do better. The only thing I would change, I would probably get the coupe, but I don't need all the room of a four-door. That's just me, maybe not you. Here's some video links to other high-performance cars we've driven. Just click and watch.